Hello, beautiful human. Christine Blasdale here. I am so excited to announce what is this? Oh, it is my brand new book. It's called Podcastonomics, Unlocking the Secrets of Profitable Podcasting for Beginners. I am so proud of this, and I am so happy to make it available to you. It's available right now on Amazon. You can get the Kindle or the paperback version available right now at Amazon. Go get it. Get it now. Get it now. Well, first, let listeners and viewers who are watching on YouTube, let them know how old you are or how young you are.
I'm the oldest member of the cast. I'm 86.
Get out of here!
I am. Yeah, I just have March, my 86th birthday.
Gosh, you're gorgeous. 86, and what was the age of your brain?
39.
Yeah, girl. Yeah.
39. And the funny thing about it is that I used to have a joke that said, decide how old you are and then just be that for the rest of your life. And people have been saying to me for years, well, you're so young. How old do you feel? And I always say, oh, about 40. And my brain came out at 39. I just was floored.
Welcome to Out of the Box with Christine. Are you willing to step into your greatness? Are you ready to shine? Well, get ready, Truth Seeker. You're in for an amazing ride. And now, here's the host of the show, Christine Blasdale.
Welcome back to Out of the Box with Christine. I am so excited for today's show. I've been waiting for this to bring my dear friend and huge success on TikTok and Instagram and all the social media. She is an influence. She is the influencer of influencers on the very popular social media program called Retirement House. And I'm so happy to have her. She's just a doll. And I wanted to introduce you, my beautiful audience, to Gaylynn Baker, also known as Mabel on Retirement House. And she is here to just drop some knowledge and to also let us know that it's never too late to really go after dreams. Right on. Welcome, Gaylynn, to Out of the Box with Christine.
I'm so happy to be here with you. I want to first give a plug to you and just say anyone that has a chance to train with you about podcasting or about anything is so lucky. I remember I was one of the first students to go through when you first started doing all of this.
Yes.
And even though it didn't turn out exactly as I thought, because the universe had even bigger plans, the training has helped me so much, Christine.
Oh, thank you. That just makes me feel wonderful. Thank you so much. I love that opening. That's a beautiful opening to start with. Gosh, when I spoke with you last and when we worked together, it was, I feel like you were trying to sort of find your space, your place, but you have quite a long history in the entertainment industry as a director, writer, producer, actress, amazing actress as well. But why don't you tell our audience a little bit about how, first of all, now you're on Retirement House, which the latest stats, I'm just blown away. 5.2 million followers on TikTok.
From all over the world, and we get love letters constantly from young people. And I got invited because of being an influencer. I got invited to the Caribbean on an all expense paid trip. And my hair was on fire, as my wonderful friend Candida used to say, to get a bikini. I thought, I don't have the body I had 2 or 3 years ago, but I have a beautiful body. Why am I stuffing it into one-piece suit? So I got a bikini and I went. And the first time I wore it, a young woman came up to me afterwards and said, when I saw you rip, and she said rip, when I saw you rip off your t-shirt, and realized you were in a bikini, I knew my life was going to be okay.
Oh my gosh. And for
And
those who,
that's the kind of effect that
yeah,
I'm having, that retirement house is having all over the world.
and to give people an idea that so the folks that was it 4 or 5 usually key characters that are on the show.
It's 6.
It's 6.
Three, yeah,
and
3
and they're
men.
all ages. What type of what ages are we ranging from? Because we're not talking a 24-year-old, right?
No,
Dancing in their house.
we're ranging from 72 to 86.
Wow.
Yeah, and Brian Johnson, the wonderful man that has spent $2 million a year in how not to age, met us, loved us, and invited us over to do a brain scan. He spent $30 million making a machine, a computer that can tell you how old your brain is. And so he did it as a wonderful show. He had us line up in our actual age. Then he had us line up in how we thought we would place. And then we all tested. And then he announced the winners like the Academy Awards, starting with the oldest person first. And the youngest person in the cast was really the oldest brain. And I knew that would be true because he is just a little stiff. He doesn't have the vitality of youth. And he lined us up, and then he announced the winner. And how old? Who do you suppose the winner was?
I have a feeling it was you.
And guess how old my brain scanned?
Well, first let listeners and viewers who are watching on YouTube, let them know how old you are or how young you
I'm
are,
the
really.
oldest member of the cast. I'm 86.
Get out of here.
I am. Yeah. I just have March, my 86th birthday.
Gosh, you're gorgeous. 86. And then what was the age of your brain?
39.
Yeah, girl. Yeah.
39. And the funny thing about it is that I used to have a joke that said, decide how old you are and then just be that for the rest of your life. And people have been saying to me for years, well, you're so young. How old do you feel? And I always say, oh, about 40. And my brain came out at 39. I just was floored.
Well, and the beautiful thing is that you're just getting started. You know what I'm saying? You're just getting started. Not only so talk about the how did they find you, or did you find them, or how did the producers of the retirement house find Gaylynn
Christine,
Baker?
I came back from New Mexico, and I decided that since I was here, I had tried acting. I love acting, and I had tried acting in New York when I was 19, 20, 21, 22, and I did well, but I couldn't stand the business at that time. You know, it was before Me Too, and it was rampant with all kinds of people wanting to sleep with you and do all kinds of crazy things. And so I walked away because somehow at that age, I had the wisdom to know that that wasn't the right path for me. But when I got back 7 years ago to LA, I thought, this is the movie capital of the world. I love acting. Why don't I start auditioning? And I did. And I was doing a lot of auditions, 7 or 8 a week, trying to get a job, and saw this self-submitted in Actors Access for this. Well, I didn't even know what it was. I just knew that the little lines that they had given us to audition with were very funny. And so I did the first audition, and they called back in 2 hours and they said, oh no, we don't want you for Peaches, but we think that you'd be perfect for another character. And so please audition for this. And I had so much fun doing the audition. And then I had to wait 3 weeks. And then I had a chemistry audition where they decide whether people are going to be able to work together. And then I had one other audition. And then I had a live audition where I actually had to go in and do some improv. And I guess about 400 seniors in LA tried out for
Wow.
these parts.
That would
And
have been great to be a fly on the wall in those auditions.
I just was so tickled when I got it, but I had no idea. They hired us for two shoots, but we went viral almost immediately, and we've been cooking ever since. Yeah,
Yeah, you have.
this is the end of the second year, and we are starting on our third year now. And while all of the town has been immobilized by the strike, we're non-union, so we have been working every week.
And the beautiful thing too is the comments. I mean, you have a lot of followers that are quite young, and the comments that I see, gosh, I wish you were my grandma. You're so cool. Can you adopt me? I love it. But any of your favorite comments that you get from people that are following you guys?
Oh, I just love I love it, and I go through and I send hearts and all of that, because the comments are so wonderful. And what they tell me is that we are really, and I think the success that we've had is that we are really turning aging on its ear. And my kind of impromptu statement that suddenly came out of me on one of the interviews was, don't be anti-aging. Aging is wonderful and full of surprises, but don't let them trick you into getting old. We've been treating people when they were 50. The Golden Girls were in their 50s.
I'm in my 50s. I'm almost in my 60s. Next year is 60. I'm like, no. Yeah, you're right. I mean, as kids, we used to think that like 50 was so old.
So old. And not only that, but I think we're trained. People have been trained to believe that. Oh, you're so old now, and we have medications for you, and we have rocking chairs, and we have, and I just never bought any of it. I mean, I don't feel old. I have never felt old, and I almost slap people when they say, oh my God, 86 is so old. No, it's not. I mean, this is 86 now. This is what it looks like. It's like Gloria Steinem. Remember when they interviewed her and they said, wow, are you 50? And she said, yeah, this is what 50 looks like now. And she looked like a teenager.
Well, and a great part of that too is that I know you personally, so I know that you go after your passions, and you go in life, you do things that are important to you. And of course, right now you've got this huge success with the retirement house. I was saying it's 5.2 million followers on TikTok and a good 1.2 million on Instagram. And it is Instagram because it's been around for so long. Sometimes it's difficult to get a hold, and you guys are just killing it on that platform as well. And also YouTube. If anybody's interested in seeing these great skits that they do, I'll make sure I put a link in the show notes. You can just click on that. But it's because of that passion that you have. And I know another passion that you have is the environment. And you've been working on just doing some lovely love letters to Mama Earth over the years. You want to talk about that?
I do want to talk about it, because now I'm getting a chance to bring it all together. And I want you to join me for sure, Christine, because Mabel is now being allowed to have Mabel's moments. Because I want to talk to those 5.2 million ears and say, look, we can be one voice. And if we're one voice, we're powerful. Let's stop using plastic. I was in the Caribbean because I had an all expense paid trip to the Caribbean because I'm an influencer.
I love that.
Isn't that funny? But this was given to me in Curacao, and they melted the plastic. that's washing up on the shores of Curacao from us. And they're making funny things to give to tourists, begging them to stop using all of that stuff. And so the very first, I'm doing what I call the newsletter, and it's 1 minute or 2 minutes from Mabel, and it's bringing up topics like that. These are uncharted waters. Let's start swimming. It's like, yes, we don't have to use plastic. We can use other things. And so I've been looking for other things, and I've been asking other people to share it. And I'm not trying to do it for money. I'm not trying to sell products. What I'm trying to do is get you to understand that all it takes is a little shift by a lot of people, and it changes, and we can do this. So I'm doing Mabel's Moments. I have done 2 now. We're putting it on the link of the wonderful film that I made, We Know Not What We Do. I know you've seen it. It's a love letter to everyone saying, let's do something. Here's the situation, but it's not saying, shame on you. This, no, it's just saying, look, this is what it is right now. Look, and Christine, I got a beautiful humanitarian award for making that film, which
Gorgeous.
I don't know how they found me, but they did. And a wonderful group gave me a thing that I have sitting here on my desk. And it's just that we can make a difference. And the film now is only 55 minutes because they had me cut it for television. So I'm giving that away for free. And I'm leading the people who watch Retirement House and this wonderful podcast and whatnot, and saying, please come to this link because you can see the film for free, and it will help you to understand why these things are important.
And what's that website? You want to throw that out? I'll make sure I have it on the notes.
Yes, we know not what we do.org, all small. And because I turned we know not what we do dot whatever it was, net, I guess, I turned it into a nonprofit so I could give the film away for free.
That's beautiful. That's so beautiful. I'm so happy for you. My goodness. And I was talking about the passion that you have for filmmaking as well, in using your passion for filmmaking and your creativity and your authority in filmmaking, and using that talent to spread the word and to share some really important messages about the environment, our planet, our water, the air we breathe, everything. And then with this gorgeous golden opportunity that the Retirement House has given you, it's given you a platform too, that you can reach more people, but then so that you can continue to do the work without having to stress, right? And
Exactly.
this is the importance. It's never too late. You're 86 and you're just, like I said, getting started. This is phenomenal.
I'm having the time of my life. I really, really, really am. I have never had as much fun. We got a free trip to the Bahamas. We got a free trip to the Caribbean. And it's not just about the free trips, but the people I'm meeting. We just did a wonderful shoot with Derwin James, who's the safety for the LA Chargers. And now he's invited us to a home game at this new studio. It just keeps, and it could end. That's the thing about show business, and this as well as I do. It could end at any second. So that's why I'm passionate, because right this minute, which, by the way, everybody, right this minute is really all we have. No one guarantees that I'm going to be alive, even at 86, and even with all this energy. No one guarantees me that I'm going to be alive in 5 minutes. I may be gone. So right now, while I'm on the planet, I want to just lure as many people as I can with love to do the right thing.
Well, let's hope you don't pass the next 5 minutes because that would be on my show. And
That would be terrible,
the
wouldn't it?
ratings would go through the roof. But no, just kidding.
We lost her.
We lost her. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's so funny. Oh my gosh, you made me all red because I was laughing so hard. Um, you know what message do you have? Because I know you have for especially for young people, you know, and people of all ages, but in particular for let's say folks who do find themselves in their 70s or 80s and they feel that maybe life is passing them by, or I was just yesterday I was just I was helping out an elderly couple um do something. They were wanting to take from their phone some photos that they had, and they wanted to print them. And they're at a kiosk trying to do that thing where they print the photos off of their phone. Well, this is technology, and they didn't really know what to do, and it was confusing. So I just took some time out to help them figure it out and to do it. And they were so grateful. And the lady came up to me and she said, "Thank you so much." She said, because we're old, I hate that phrase. Because
Me
we're
too.
old, people don't they don't talk to us. They don't spend time, they ignore us. They don't help us. And I was like shocked. I was like, what? You know, are you kidding me? And she said no. She says it's really something that we noticed. So it was just really nice that you helped us out. And I'm thinking, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't help someone who didn't matter what age, right? But can you give a little bit of your beautiful kernels of wisdom for those that are in facing that time of life and maybe struggling a little bit at the moment with what society expects of them or not?
Yes. It's so important to way back, starting with the young people. This television set, this thing called what we call the world, we built this. And now it's gotten pretty obsolete. People are still using war to solve problems. I mean, it's really, you can hardly believe it because it's so obsolescence, and yet going and sitting behind a desk. If you don't like sitting behind a desk, going and sitting behind the desk because you think that's the only way to support yourself, or you've been taught blah blah. No, clear your mind. Just get rid of all of that chatter. Do what you love. Follow your love path. It could be that you love being a garbage disposal. And if that's what you love, do it. Don't think about, well, what are people going to say if I'm riding around in a truck and I'm doing that? No, it's what do you love? I have followed that. I don't know. I got kicked in the head by a horse when I was about 3 years old, and maybe that is what made the difference. But I have followed, and I had a speech impediment, which I'm sure you never would believe at this point. But I have followed my dreams. I wanted to make movies. I wanted to tell stories. So I knew no one was, I was 50 by the, I stopped in New York. I got married and stayed at home and raised 2 beautiful sons. Smartest thing I ever did in my life. And then I came back, and I wanted to come back into the entertainment movie industry. And I thought, no one's going to hire a 50-year-old woman with no training to direct movies. So I hired myself. I wanted to do it, and I hired myself. I had little bitty odd jobs to keep myself from starving to death. And I've slept in a closet before because I didn't really have a place of my own, but it never seemed like hardships because I was doing what I absolutely love. And so I got hired on a crew with Gary Graver, the cinematographer for Orson Welles. He was directing low budget film in LA. I got hired on his crew. I made 11 feature films. I got trained to be a unit production manager. I got trained to be a script supervisor. Then I wanted to direct. I knew no one would ever hire me, so I hired myself. I've made 3, believe it or not, 3 award-winning films, 3 award-winning documentary films. It was never about money. I've never made money with films, particularly documentary films, but I got to do it. And then I wrote a script, and it turns out that I was passionate about the story for Mind That Bird. So I wrote the movie 50 to 1, and it actually got made and a theatrical release. So that's on my resume. And I've written 2 books that I'm now going to rewrite, because I want to use the language that young people have taught me now. I want to inspire people. You're only here, you don't know how long. You have no idea how long you're going to be here. For heaven's sakes, don't spend it doing what you don't want to do. This is your chance. It's a gift. It's life. Please follow your dreams. Please have courage, because nothing is going to be worse than getting to be 86 years old and being sad about the way that you have. What is that thumbs up?
I don't know. Just came up. I don't know. I didn't do anything.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, that was the universe doing a thumbs up.
That's very funny.
That is hilarious. For those of you who are not watching on YouTube, as she's speaking this truth, it's like, the whole universe is just conspiring to go, that's right. And a little thumb just came up in a bubble. It gave her the thumbs up. That was a miracle. And that was captured. For those of you who want to see it, of course, go to YouTube and check out the video version of this podcast episode. You'll see it. That was so great. What a way!
Wild.
I know. It's a great way to end the show as well. So we're going to make sure that we post some of the links. We're going to definitely post a link to we know not what we do.org, so people can actually watch your documentary for free. They can have access to it. And also I'll make sure I put a link to the retirement house. I'll send them to the TikTok, because I'm a TikTok fan as well. I love being on TikTok and doing
all of
videos.
our videos that we've done for the last 2.5 years are on that particular place on Retirement House. And by the way, those of you who are older, reach out to people who are younger. Don't think, oh, they're so different. They're not so different. They're just like you, and they want to be you, and they want to be inspired by you. Please reach out and build that bridge. That's what we've done on Retirement House. The 2 young men that thought this up are in their 20s.
Love it.
They taught us, and we have taught them.
I love it. That's the perfect combination. And what you just said is so important. This is what I encourage all of my clients that I teach when I show them how to create a podcast or a YouTube channel or videos, even showing them how to create TikToks. I say, you know what? It's true. You're never too old. And the most important thing is that you have fun and you're passionate about it. And if you have that passion, speak it out, share your wisdom with the world. That's the important thing. Don't keep it in your basement of life. Don't keep it in your brain. Don't keep it in your heart, but share it with others. And you never know what can happen. Look at what happened with Gaylynn Baker. Mabel, look at that.
Mabel comes and Mabel loves you. No question about it.
Well, darling, it's so wonderful to see you again. You're radiating absolute health and joy. And so that makes me happy. And I am just so grateful to you and your support of my work throughout the years as well. Thank you so much. But you've always got a place here on Out of the Box with Christine. So you're welcome to come back anytime. And especially when you release those books, please come back. I'd love to have you on.
Yes, I will. And also, please tell all the people in Australia that I'd love to have their voices mixed with our voices. We are going to change things right now on the planet.
And let's stop war. Let's stop
Absolutely. It's just ridiculous.
it. Let's stop it.
It's all about money.
I know.
It's all about money.
Oh, I know. Money and power. The two
Money and
major
power.
corrupt things in the world. Yes, let's just stop it. Let's stop it now. All right, darling. Thank you again, Gaylynn Baker, my guest today, my wonderful guest today. She is, of course, she's an actress, director, writer, star, one of the stars in The Retirement House, and that's on TikTok and Instagram. It's all over the place, but I'll make sure I put a link in the show notes so everybody can go check it out. And I thank you again, darling, so much. I want to thank you, two wonderful listeners on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, Audible. Thank you so much for your continued support. And I also want to thank you for those of you who are watching on YouTube. You can always like, subscribe, share the show, share this episode with somebody who really could use to hear good old Mabel and Gaylynn right now. Share this episode. It's best to do that. And if you want more information about the show, you can go to outoftheboxwithchristine.com. If you want more information about my coaching programs, of course, you can always go to christineblasdale.com. I'll have all those links in the show notes. And until next time, I want to remind you to always think outside of that damn box, just like my beautiful guest, Gaylynn. Think outside of that damn box. Bye for now.